I honestly think if you're black in the Netherlands, you will never be considered an intellect. My name is Chad Bilyeu. I'm from Cleveland, used to live in DC, and now I'm mobbing through Amsterdam. When I first came, it was cool for 3 weeks. I didn't really notice nothing. Then I went to school at the University of Amsterdam. And for the first class I'm going to, I'm waiting to get into class. And some Dutch dude comes up to me, Dutch white guy, autochtonen. And I'm listening to music, he taps me on the shoulder. And he's like, where are you from? Which for me is an odd way to approach a person, but I'm like, hey, I'm from the States. Yeah, what city? I'm from Cleveland. He's like, oh, okay. What was it like to grow up in the hood? And I'm like, who the fuck told you I grew up in the hood? You know, and right then and there, I started noticing these preconceived notions of what I, as a black American, am supposed to do and be. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little scared to judge black Dutch people, because I have said some things that maybe weren't thought out as well, said in haste. And it's hard for me to know what y'all go through, those guys go through, because I didn't come up here. Your affiliations, your rules are meaningless to me. I'm not an autochtonen. Even when people want to try to label me as that, I'm not that. I'm not one of your cast of characters of the play that is the Netherlands. I'm a motherfucker from America. So it's a whole different thing. So I think they see y'all as, or black people from here, as who they are. And then let's be real, what is black in the Netherlands? Is that Surinamer? Is that Antillean? You know, or is it one of the many Africans who have migrated here? It's kind of weird to say what is black in the Netherlands. The day-to-day racism is not the same. People are not as overt here. The Dutch have a long history of being neutral, so they even present themselves in a certain neutral stance. So a lot of times people don't let you, they don't act on these feelings as much as we do in the States, I would say. So I don't feel that the everyday racism is the same. I feel that there's a paradoxical situation, whereas, you know, here, yeah, you don't have black people getting killed by the police. I don't think most black people have the same destitute situations that a lot of black people in the States have. But at the same time, like, black people here don't have the same cultural influence that we have. They don't have the same respect that we have. We got Obama. We got Jay-Z. We got Cornel West. We been had Marcus Garvey. A lot of powerful people. And we helped shape shit. We made America. If it wasn't for us, there would be no America. We roar. We fight harder. We work harder. We made our presence known. The freedom that we got, we took. Black Americans, I believe we are more respected than black people in the Netherlands. Our contribution to culture, American culture and global culture, is unquestionable. I mean, people here are making hip hop. It's not just some fluke. That's because you saw what we did and people liked it. This goes back to jazz, R&B, soul, sneaker culture. We're very influential. You know, that's probably just a side effect of America promoting themselves to the world post-World War II. And I understand that. But people like our stuff. They feel like they know us. I didn't know nothing about black Dutch people before I moved here. Now, to be fair, I didn't know that much about Dutch culture. I knew the involvement in the slave trade. I knew weed. I knew this prostitution shit, and I knew tolerance. The idea of everybody being all tolerant. Tulips, bikes. That was about it. So I didn't know much about the dominant culture. So what make you think I'm gonna know that much about a subculture? And not to belittle anyone's contributions, but I mean it's like I say one thing I said during the World Cup. You watching the World Cup, and y'all know all our celebrities. We don't know none of y'all celebrities. Oh, there's Bill Clinton. Oh, there's Jay-Z and Beyonce. Stuff like that, whether people want to admit it or not, is kind of a you have admitted that you're kind of buying into American exceptionalism, whether you realize it or not. And I think we do great stuff, and I think we do some terrible stuff too, like anyone. But I think there is this idea that, we have universities. Howard University exists. You even if you don't believe with them, you don't agree with them politically, Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell. We got it. We have a black intelligentsia. We have a black wealth, old black wealth. You want to get into it, look up Guardsmen's, Lynx, Jack and Jill, all the black sororities. We have these things. We have black money. We got Obama. You can't dismiss that. And there's no equivalent of that here. So when you come as a black American and you come here, there's these limitations put on you because there's limitations in place for people here. I honestly think if you're black in the Netherlands, you will never be considered an intellect. It doesn't matter what you do, or how you speak, or whatever degree you have. No matter how quantifiable it is, they will not admit you to be the intellect that you are. Here, the roles reserved for blacks. I mean, really, look at TV. When do you see black people on TV in the Netherlands? And I don't watch much TV, but I've seen it, Usually, it's some real misappropriated image of a black person looking like a fool, or it's a comedian, or it's somebody playing a sport. Or Humberto Tan. And that's a new occurrence, So that lets you know. I mean, he the only him and who? York and Raymond, the only black folk really on TV like that, right? You got a few people here and there. But it's not set up. All the intelligentsia, that stuff's reserved for the autochthone, white Dutch people. I just don't think that they're ready to admit, like, oh yeah, you have a good point. You're a thinker. And I don't think that's an issue as much in the States. I think we still got to work harder. We got to prove more. But I don't think that's as much an issue back home as it is here. And I mean, maybe that has to do with the time. And maybe it takes time. I don't know. Maybe it takes people forming their own media entities or, whatever outlet to do their own thing. Because right now, the image that I've seen portrayed of black people in the Netherlands is usually disrespectful towards black people in general. I think I arrived at what will go down as a very important time in Dutch history. And this is what we're seeing is the true creation of the multicultural society in the Netherlands. Because for me, multiculturalism doesn't just mean, oh, I got Mexicans mowing my lawn. To me, it means, oh, the Mexicans got political power, they got access to the media, they got economic power, they're respected, their history is known, and these are things that we got to move to truly be multicultural. I think that the Dutch think multicultural means, oh, we got assorted motherfuckers around and they got their restaurants and we love their food, and it stops there. We don't need to know their culture. We don't need to know their history, because what you have is we're amidst a culture war. And European cultures are losing because they don't work within the multicultural realm, because multiculturalism is about understanding and being able to relate. Most European cultures, in my opinion, are very exclusionary, and they like to keep people out. You see that now with, the Moroccan kid, his mama born here, but they still call him a Moroccan. He Dutch. Or he's at least, a citizen of the Netherlands. But that's still an issue. So they're redefining right now what it is to be Dutch, what it means to be a part of the society. And what you're also seeing is now, because like I said, it does take time. It's not like you're just going to show up in the 70s and then you're going to have a president by the 80s. It takes time. But what's happening is now you got the new generation. They are educated, just as educated as the autochthonian folks, and they're not standing for it. Slowly integrating, but they're not getting hired at the rate that they should, And I don't care what anyone says. You go in here and, you some Surinamer dude or some Turkish Moroccan dude with a degree, you're not getting hired over Marika. Sorry. You just not. So I think you're going to see a lot more people becoming conscious of their history, of their place. But what I think is, you got these Dutch entities that have been existing, and they're historically white as hell. Understandably so. But you can't have all these people here, particularly in a city like Amsterdam, where they love to brag about 180 different nationalities, but none of these nationalities got any economic or political power. That's not true multiculturalism, in my opinion. So, you don't get balanced media. Y'all don't have no Cosby show. Maybe should have said Bill Cosby, but no Dave Chappelle show. This don't exist. And often people will think something like a BET, although not owned by black people, it does exist. Because of the way our country was segregated, we had to form our own stuff. And actually, if you talk to a lot of black folks in America, they'll tell you that the black community was better off before desegregation, because we had to have our own doctors. We had to have our own lawyers, because we couldn't go to a white doctor, white lawyer. And I think what you're going to see is people are going to get fed up with being outcasted here. And they're going to start forming their own entities. And from these entities, media, your own advertising firms, you're going to see more of this. And it's going to be more diverse. I think you're seeing it now. Certain people like Daily Paper, for instance, they created their own thing, and they're like, we're doing our own thing. And I really like to see stuff like that, because it's people controlling their own image and their own voice, which the Netherlands has proven they will disrespect the image of African people, Moroccans, Turks at any given moment. They don't have a problem with it, and they actually expect you to be cool with it. And I think people are getting fed up with that. I understand when you first come, you don't want to rock the boat. You're new. But I think people are now feeling like, I'm from here. I got that voice. I should be able to say what I want to say, how I want to say it. So, yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's a really powerful period right now. And people are going to, that's my prediction, that you're going to see one day this autochthonian, newspaper or media. And here they'll probably think, that's terrible. You guys are, you're excluding yourself from society. Yeah, but y'all not including us, So you get tired of begging.